The Philippine Merchant Marine Academy is the first and oldest maritime institution in Asia at 200 years. Pioneering maritime education with a strong heritage has made it the leading maritime school it is today.
Joining us on the program is the Superintendent of PMMA, Commodore Joel Abutal. Welcome to the program, Commodore Abutal.
Hi, Ma'am Lynn. Good evening sa iyo at sa ating mga viewers sa buong Marino World. Magandang gabi from the Philippine Merchant Marine Academy.
Thank you so much, Commodore, for joining us on the program. At ganitong mga panahon, talagang namimiss ko yung coverage diyan sa Zambales, no? It's the 201st anniversary, no? Foundation Day sana ng PMMA. Marami sana tayong activities ngayon dyan. At laging andyan din ang napakarami nating mga alumni. So, paano natin sinelebrate ngayon ang 201st anniversary?
Last April 5 should be our 201st Foundation Day, and this week is our Foundation Week, where we are supposed to celebrate with grandeur the Foundation Week. But this time, without the grandeur of previous years, where our alumni around the world are coming back to pay homage and meet bankmates in the grounds and quarters of the Academy. This year will be highlighted with the class recognition and pinning ceremony. This is similar to Level Up in other schools. Here, when we carry out the class recognition, the treatment and privileges will be granted to various classes. Say, for instance, our fourth class will be virtually recognized as third class, our third class as second class, and first class as probationary graduates. An important event includes the ceremonial sounding of the bicentennial bell to commemorate the year's event and remember those graduates who exemplified themselves and who passed to heaven's shore.
But of course, PMMA is really unstoppable. No, you have this activity, yung Superintendent's Challenge. Please tell us about this, Commodore. Ang gagaling ng mga kadete natin, lalo na sa debate na panood ko.
Okay. The first Superintendent's Challenge, regimental academic triathlon, I mean. The Superintendent's Challenge dates for 3 weekends, supposedly, starting March 6th this year. But we canceled the event last weekend due to some untoward event caused by this pandemic, just to ensure that everybody is safe. But it is envisioned to complement the regimental training and academic competence building of the midshipmen in the Academy's mission, or in line with the Academy's mission to train future maritime leaders to serve the merchant marine, maritime administration, internal security operations, and territorial defense fields. The challenge is composed of learning activities as well as competitions to measure the competence of the midshipmen with the end goal of lifting their morale, foster teamwork, camaraderie, and further improve their awareness in their role in nation building. The activities also include a symposium series, an academic debate, the one that you perhaps saw, regimental quiz bee also, company-wide examination, and an academic race to be held in various venues in the academic campus. It captures at the end the pride of the winning company with the Superintendent Merit Medal Award and a streamer for their company banner. At the end, it will be the pride of the company who will be awarded and in recognition for their winning feat in this first superintendent's challenge.
So, continuous pa pala yun. Hindi pa tapos yun, Commodore. We still have the finals.
Yes, we still have 2.5 weekends of to complete the challenges.
The PMMA was originally named Escuela Nautica de Manila. It was created by virtue of the Spanish Royal Decree issued in 1820 and founded as a school for merchant marine officers. The first campus was located in Intramuros, Manila. Since the Spanish era, the school has been producing distinguished alumni. One such graduate was Captain Pascual Ledesma. Captain Ledesma led Filipino officers of the Spanish Royal Navy to join the Philippine Revolution under General Emilio Aguinaldo. He later became commander of the Philippine Navy. Apart from Captain Ledesma, Escuela Nautica de Manila has produced notable graduates including the Spanish Prime Minister Marcelo Azcárraga y Palmero and Juan Luna. The school was temporarily closed during the Revolution, but it was not until 1913 when Don Ramon Fernandez, the president of the Ship Owners Association, recognized the need to reopen the academy. Now called the Philippine Nautical School, the school addressed demand for trained merchant marine officers. Don Ramon Fernandez would later become the first Filipino superintendent of the PNS. By this time, students were being educated in a nautical course, consisting of a 2-year residency plus a 2-year apprenticeship at sea. During World War II, the school extended its training from nautical officers to marine engineers and seamen. After the war, the PNS was revived under the Department of National Defense, which converted it into a 2-year residential college due to the need for Filipino merchant marine officers to replace their American counterparts. The school experienced another revival in 1963 with its new charter and a new name, the Philippine Merchant Marine Academy. The newly minted PMMA offered students a degree in Bachelor of Science in Marine Transportation, major in Navigation and Seamanship, and major in Steam Engineering and Electricity. This would also mark the restoration of residency requirements, one that is practiced to this day. From within the stone walls of Intramuros, the school was relocated to Fort Bonifacio, which would last for 31 years, before transferring to its current home in San Narciso, Zambales in February 1998. Today, the PMMA sits on a 60-hectare former United States Naval radar station. The institution has seen many changes throughout the years, but its storied past has contributed to its strength as the authority in maritime education.
So, how's the education and training of our cadets amidst this pandemic dun sa PMMA? Of course, it's the premier maritime institution of the country. Hindi yata tayo pwedeng tumigil, di ba, Commodore?
Oh, wow. Oh, yes. That's actually a big challenge to us in the academy. And knowing that the academy's mission is to ensure that we are able to provide competent merchant marine and naval officers. And we at PMMA are one with our national government in ensuring that the services needed by the Filipino people are still delivered despite the challenges that seem insurmountable, especially now that the COVID-19 pandemic still persists. Despite the global health crisis, which demanded for a declaration of community quarantine in identified risk areas, the PMMA has not ceased its operations. We're able to do this because of our long tradition of being in-house and secluded from the population, especially the government's provision of free education and training. We are very thankful for having the support. And the safety and precautionary measures, of course, are put in place for the health and safety of both our employees and midshipmen here to ensure that we contain and or prevent the spread of disease. COVID screening procedure are put in place as immediately when the outbreak was announced by the government in compliance with the IATF and the CHED guidelines. But of course, we are not exempted for having infection, but at least we put in place those health protocols in order to prevent the spread. Also, what we do, like we have alternative work arrangement in place, COVID screening procedures, the flexible learning modality are implemented, among others. And to complement their learning during lecture classes, laboratory or machine shop classes are conducted while ensuring health and safety protocols. So it has been over a year since the pandemic started in our country. It has been difficult for everyone to prevent the further spread of the COVID-19 virus. We have been reminding everyone every now and then to be conscious of their actions and strictly follow health protocols advised by our government. And we issued memos every now and then to ensure that everyone will be mindful of their personal responsibility. And in the course of history, I think this pandemic has probably created the largest disruption in terms of our education systems. But on the other hand, it has also shed light on the opportunities of e-learning and digitization of our education system. It is through adopting innovative technologies that we are able to continue our operations and deliver at least quality academic education and training for our future seafarers and maritime leaders.
So what are those technologies, innovations na nagagamit nyo ngayon, especially now na amidst pandemic? So marami na ba tayong mga facilities dyan ngayon sa PMMA?
Oh yes, oo. We have facilities, we have structure, we have challenges, but I see the innovation at PMMA over the years, the rules of education have changed. In a single generation, I think revolutions in technology have transformed the way we educate, work, and set up of our institutions, not only at PMMA, but around the world as we know it. If I remember correctly, a portrait in the 1990s shows a student raising his hand in a typical classroom. And now we are raising hands in Zoom or virtual settings. Like what former US President Barack Obama once said, the first step in winning the future is encouraging innovation. And actually, none of us can predict with certainty what the next big education leap will be. And it is truly that this pandemic did create the greatest jumpstart and pushed us to adapt innovation and accelerate its processes. Having said that, even before the pandemic, PMMA has already started at the peak of its implementation of innovation. That is why we are ready to face the challenges of the pandemic. However, PMMA's innovation was not all about adapting these scenarios when there's only pandemic, such as whether there is a pandemic or times of uncertainties. I think it's all about embracing the course of innovative education and training and staying ahead of the learning curves of Industrial Revolution 4.0. I still recall, I think when we met 2 years ago in one of the seminars in Manila where Industrial Revolution Education 4.0 was the main topic. And that's where I started taking direction of PMMA towards this innovation. Although we even prior to that, we are having several innovations here in the Academy. As written in our vision statement, we exist to continue the legacy of our institution, that is to fulfill our mandate of taking the leadership role in securing our country's significant contribution, not just to our local economy, but to the global maritime industry as a whole. I think PMMA has lived through its bicentennial state. We have to merge tradition and innovation in a single fold. And as academicians at heart, we have looked into processes of progressive collaboration for innovation. Yes, that's right. Progressive collaboration for innovation. In order to accomplish this, of course, since PMMA has, we identified our weakness, our strength, and those that we don't have, we have to look for someone who can support us to accomplish this. And this is where we have partnered with a local Filipino technology enabling company, which is the Seversity, who shares the same vision of empowering future seafarers and maritime leaders through strategic innovative technologies. And I'm very happy because our board of trustees also share the same vision that we should partner with a local Filipino technology partner in order for us to really create something that is Filipino. And with Seversity, a young Filipino company who shares the same vision of leading the world of today, tomorrow with innovation, we are able to innovate at a very minimal cost to the government. We do not pay for the development itself. And the program is now free, where we co-develop the learning management system of the academy. Aside from our learning management system, which we have already worked on the transcendence of digital system to revolutionize our conventional methods of chalk and board style of learning as imparted to our cadets. We have also other innovations we created with our technology partner, which is the AR and VR, augmented reality and the virtual reality. This one is actually our one institutional investment that we have done so far to create immersive visualization of ships, components, and equipment. The adoption of these technologies is in line with the proposals from different administrations in IMO, such as Korea, South Korea, where they have presented virtual reality trainings in firefighting, enclosed space, and other risk-based scenarios. as well as they're able to validate the IMO Model Course 2.07 Engine Room Simulator, where 3D assets are used for the basic construction of ship and engine components due to the advancement of material design and fabrication. So with this, the general requirement of administration is only for general certain component, but as an academy for excellence, we wanted to look into the whole diversity of ships and components, which is specific to model. In layman's term, we bring ships and equipment to the very eye of the learner to help them comprehend with their shipboard tasks and workspace, and also to level up their motivations to become competent seafarers of the future. In fact, one of our partners, the Evergreen of Cargo Safeway, did sign a memorandum of understanding with us to create a virtual reality for one of their vessels. So we are able to create a walkthrough in a virtual world, one of their vessels that is now being used by the cadets to familiarize them with the container vessel, which means that if even though the cadets have not boarded or have not seen a real ship, they are able to familiarize it virtually because we are able to create it. And other partners also saw it a good innovation and actually an excellent tool to make the crew or the seafarers become familiar with the equipment or with the ship that they will be boarded even before they actually boarded it. And at the same time, we are also helping our other government agencies, Philippine Coast Guard, Philippine Navy, even the Philippine Military Academy visited us in order for them to also develop same for the Philippine Military Academy. At the same time here in Academy, Lynn, we have developed a blockchain certification system as well. We wanted to fully instill the integrity of the Academy combined with innovation. We have incorporated the blockchain credentials in our system, where all our graduates will have a faultless and anti-fraudulent system of diplomas and transcript of records. With blockchain security, as we are trying to familiarize it with ourselves as well, what that means is that the students' credential records are recorded to the blockchain and are effectively impossible to change. It means we cannot duplicate or we cannot alter it because blockchain recorded credentials cannot be altered, fake, or nor spoofed. If someone does attempt to forge a credential, it won't verify against the blockchain record. So with blockchain security in place, administration, ship management, stakeholders can be absolutely certain that the record hasn't been altered since its issuance in the Academy. And we have started it already.
The challenge in e-learning, distance learning, is really the connection, no? So how's the connection now? Did you get also the support of our networks para ma-boost yung ating
Yes.
connection dyan sa PMMA, sa
Oh,
internet?
That's right. That's right. That is actually one of the challenges that we have because when we implement the LMS or the learning management system we developed in the Academy, one of the problem identified is, of course, hardware. Do the students have hardware? The PMMA also don't have sufficient number, but with the support of the government, we are able to procure the laptops for all our faculty were provided with laptops, and also students We have procured sizable number of tablets as well as laptops. We use laptops instead of the desktops just to because it's best for us to have an extra battery life when we experience possible downturn of power. Um, we we are also very blessed because DICT with Secretary Honasan when he visited us here through the program with the provincial government provided us 4 hotspots inside the academy. And with the provisions of increasing it in the next stage, and together with the intention of making us a partner in the Maritime Cybersecurity Program. That one is for discussion with us. Of course, in the previous year, we have only 120 Mbps. You can imagine 120 Mbps during the, when we checked our internet connectivity with 1,000 users in the academy for cadets as well as for the guests in PMMA, it can hardly provide us this Zoom meeting which we started in 2020. So what we did, we are able to get support to increase it to 230 Mbps plus the provision of the DICT. And also we have partnered with the SMART, and they will soon be providing us 7 hotspots in PMMA. All of these are free of charge, just to ensure that the connectivity of the academy will be able to sustain our LMS. But on top of that, of course, since internet is our problem, we were able to find the solution of making our LMS accessible by our faculty and midshipmen while they are in the academy, whether offline or online. So our midshipmen are able to access the contents of the courses, even though there's no internet in the academy. Because it's all now in the local server.
How about the face-to-face learning or training of our cadets? The physical, of course, we have to take care of their physical health.
Yes.
So how do you do that now, sir?
Yeah, we are very.
Biggest limitations during pandemic.
Oh, we are very strict on that. Just to give you a scenario, our 4th class or our first year, 4th class, 3rd class, and 1st class, because our 2nd class are on board now in foreign vessels. When they aboard PMMA last for 4th class, they came aboard last July 2020. For 3rd class, they came back. No, sorry. The 4th class came June. The 3rd class came middle of July, and the 1st class came aboard middle of August, something like that. And from then on, we housed them, and we did not allow them to go on liberty. Save for some who really need to go out for checkups and attend burial of their loved ones. So the strict implementation that we implemented in PMMA, as well as the provision of having housing inside for our faculty and staff, provided us a scenario where we are like one household that we can mingle with each other as long as while also implementing the safety protocols for those who will be coming in and out. We only essential services and are allowed to come to PMMA, but it's actually very difficult until now for them to just come in and out without having passed through the security and passing through the medical clinic for individual checkup before they can engage in to business with us. So when we say face-to-face, in the cadets area where they are housed together, we are able to conduct face-to-face doctrines implementation to them, and also we have a limited face-to-face when it comes to the classroom. PMMA has reduced the number of midshipmen per section to only 20. We used to have 25. This time we only have 20 students per section, just to ensure, not only to ensure, but this is actually the standard that we are having, just to ensure that the proper education and training is provided to a manageable number. So we have limited face-to-face on classroom instructions, where we only allowed the faculty to meet the students for not more than 10 minutes, and we structure the classroom with virtual TV sets where the instructors can give lecture while they are at home or while they are in the faculty room and connected to the students giving their lecture through TV monitors. Of course, the LMS is there, where we are able to provide the contents of the courses provided. But definitely, what I would like to say, Lynn, is that the maritime education and training, in order to really achieve a sensible education and training for maritime, requires face-to-face. We cannot only do LMS or online classes when conducting the maritime education and training. No, we cannot do that. There are really certain competences that we really have to meet the students and allow them to work in group, and at the same time in the simulator rooms or in the laboratory, where they really have to work together. But what we do is that we have a limited number of students that are allowed to do the lectures, the machine shop, as well as the other activities that require face-to-face. And this one is we are able to carry out this because the instructors are actually staying with the cadets. They are not allowed to stay or live outside during the delivery of their curriculum.
And I believe because of the very big area of PMMA, you really can continuously educate, train our cadets despite this social distancing and health protocols, right, Commodore?
Yes, we have.
How many hectares ang PMMA?
We have 63 hectare. It's a vast 63 hectare housing the dormitory of the cadets, the academic buildings, the library, as well as the housing units of our faculty and staff.
So currently, how many cadets are are you taking care of? And
We have,
about the professors also, personnel.
at this time, we have around 1,100, around 1,110 midshipmen, tactical officers, and faculty living in PMMA.
And how many cadets are now on board?
We have now 780 cadets on board, first year, second year, and fourth year, Lynn.
Of course, yung challenges din sa panahon ng pandemic, lalo na last year, Commodore. So, did it affect you, yung pag-on board training din ng ating mga cadets? And even now, kumusta naman yung on board nila?
Yeah, that's also one of the questions we asked ourselves. Since we continued our operation last year, and we were thinking that there will be a possibility that cadets will not be able to come aboard because of the seriousness of crew change all over the world. But to tell you frankly, because of that situation and because of PMMA, we're able to maintain a COVID-free environment of our cadets. Our partner companies actually increased the deployment, the recruitment of cadets of PMMA until such time that we are not able to supply them anymore, which means this became an opportunity for us to increase the intake because of the problem. And we are now asked to increase the number of cadets by actually all of our partner companies would like to increase the intake of cadets for their companies to replace those other cadets on board.
And how many companies are now sponsoring cadets?
PMMA has now 45 shipping company partners, and some around 30 of them have already signed MOA with them. They are the long-term partner of PMMA. They signed MOA to ensure that they have a steady supply of cadets from PMMA.
I understand you have training center in Manila also. How's the operation there, and the graduate school?
For the graduate school, we are still continuing the operation through online classes. In fact, we have an increased number of students now in graduate school. We have around 98 as of last semester, and I think many more are enrolling because they would like to take advantage of the online classes we're having. For the training center in Manila, when I took over PMMA, we did some risk assessment and cost-benefit analysis in the operation of the training center. And we agreed with the concurrence of the board that instead of operating a training center in Manila, it will be more beneficial for PMMA to operate the training center inside PMMA, because we have that already, and we should cater more to the requirements of the cadets who are now provided free training by the PMMA through the CHED program. So all cadets now, instead of paying for their training, are now having the training in PMMA free of charge. So that's why cadets, after their academic year, right after they complete the clearances of the third class, they are ready to board any company's vessel right after, because they have completed the STCW training requirements for their shipboard embarkation. So we are now operating the PMMA training center in Zambales. Also, we are working on the digital libraries. We are very thankful indeed for the kind heart of Amosup through Captain Oka, Captain Gregorio Oka, as our alumnus, and through the current president, the son, Dr. Conrad, for providing us around, I don't know exactly how much the figure now, but it is a 2,000 square meter library in Academy. It's almost complete now, where we'll be having the opening perhaps this coming June. It's a 2,000 square meter, two-story library building inside the Academy. Maybe it costs around 40 to 50 million pesos, and it is almost complete na. The way they are only working on the finishing. Just so happened that we have restrictions in allowing the supplies and construction workers and materials to come. Kaya medyo nagdi-delay lang ng konti. But we are really very thankful for that, because it will truly help us in integrating our academics, our digitalization, as well as the ongoing integration of school system in the Academy.
Very commendable. Commodore, let's talk about vaccination also for our cadets. What's your plan for this?
That's the beauty of being with the government, because government has already a big plan for us. We are, I think, in the third or fourth tier where we will be provided with vaccines. In fact, the CHED has already sent us a registration, e-registration or scheduling of vaccination. So once the vaccine arrives, we should be able to have it.
Very good news. Yun ang pinoproblema ng iba eh. Pero at least ang PMMA talaga, yun nga, no? Yun ang napakalaking advantage natin. Mga scholars ng bayan, mga future officers talaga from PMMA.
Yes, din. Marami pa nga actually. If I can still go on. PMMA is, we are really challenged to innovate and really provide what the industry requires. Such that last year we filed in Congress the bicentennial charter of PMMA in order for us to be attuned to the current challenges. Mm-hmm. So it's now on the third and final reading in the Congress, and hopefully with by God's will we'll able to have it and create a national maritime academy that is truly responsive to the needs of the country as well as with the global maritime industry. So if PMMA is also acquiring a modern multi-role training vessel approved by the board already, and we are submitting it to NEDA for ICC appreciation, and hopefully if approved, meron tayong training vessel for the whole Filipino seafarers.
Thank you so much, Commodore, and good luck to all of us. At talagang isa yan sa nakikita kong dapat tutukan ng ating government. Napakalaki ng PMMA, napakalaki ng potential. Andyan yung ating mga scholars, andyan ang ating future officers. At lalong-lalo na sa panahon ito ng pandemic, pre- and post-pandemic, we should really be ready, no, Commodore?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, that's true. That's true. And we in PMMA supports the peace and development of the country. But we are always asking for government's help that we are able to ensure this. Because if we support an institution like PMMA, that is a classic example of education to employment. Then we would be able to really achieve peace and development all over the country with the because we are able to provide employments. In fact, to make it really more equitable, we are also including in the charter a one cadet per congressional district in order to really provide opportunities to those even indigents in the countryside. You can just imagine if one cadet per district, including the far-flung areas of the country, will be able to graduate PMMA. $3,000 will be able to support how many families and members of the academy, of the family, to achieve a better life in the future. So we are very thankful indeed because until now, our partner companies, our alumni are really supporting the cadets and still obtain a sizable amount of chunks for the seafarer employment.
Very meaningful conversation with you, Commodore Abuta. Thank you so much and stay safe. Happy 201st anniversary sa PMMA sa inyo, sa mga alumni.
Thank you so much, Lynn. As I always say, safe seas and a pleasant voyage always to the Marino World, to you and to the whole family. Mabuhay ang ating mga marino dito sa lupa at lalong-lalo na sa buong mundo. Kasama yung aking anak ngayon, si Jeff Abutal, who is now on board. Wow.
Commodore Joel Y. Abuta, Superintendent, Philippine Merchant Marine Academy, PMMA.
Mabuhay tayo. Salamat.